Yo, yo, yo. Today we're gonna look at how to make a beat out of a sample. A sample is basically just a pre-made melody or a vocal. It can be a melody or a vocal from a famous songs that were made earlier back in the days that you now wanna kind of make a remix or a new beat out of. To find a sample, just go to YouTube and search sample, free samples or something like that. There is a bunch of it outside there. And then you want to add it into your DAW. If it's a whole studio or LMS, it doesn't matter. So start by finding a sample, and when you're done that, you want to listen to how many times and when the sample is changing. So this sample have like four major changes, like oh. Is like four changes, and you want to match your notes to that. So as you can see, these are the changes. So oh, uh, oh, and then I just copy it twice, but you can listen to it. So normally when you make beats, you keep your pattern to like these boxes, like one, there's a pattern here, and then two, there's another pattern, three. But here you can see like it's kind of lapping over. But these notes are like there is no structure when because you just have to do it just to match with your melody. When you're done that, it depends on how long your sample is. I just copied mine twice to make it easier for everything else, but you want to copy your pattern. And what I then did was just adding some extra few notes, and so those who are green are the extra notes. I shortened some of the chords and added some extra notes. And be careful with where you're adding extra notes. I added extra notes where they were kind of near the end of the tune, like so there was like a little bit dead space each end, so there was space for me to put it in. So the sample is just 6 bars, as you can see. It's like one, two, three, four, five, six. But the reason why I chose to duplicate it is so that I can have different melodies. So as you can see, these notes right here and these notes, they are similar, but there are some changes like this. You know, I can be more creative if I have more space to work on. And what I did from the main part was just copying it, like Control A, Control C, and then I added some extra few notes where there were kind of little bit in the middle of the notes, where there were a little bit dead space, where there were not so much sound. So and be careful with where you're adding notes, because if I was adding this note like here, it would have changed the entire vibe of the melody, and also you want these melodies to match with your sample as well. And now comes the hardest part, which is like the baseline, kicks, snares, and stuff. What I did was just take this pattern and copy it, and go open your kicks, and you can kind of see like that there's a kick every time there's a note. That's the first thing I started with, and then I changed some of the notes. I removed some of the notes, so like there's no kick here, as you can see, but there's a kick here, just to be like creative. I have 12 bars to work on. I don't want it to be repetitive, so I. But each time there's a kick, there is a note. But not each time there's a note, there's a kick. So have that in mind, and just to make a kick pattern that makes sense. Since this vocal sample was a little bit slow, I didn't want too many kicks. And when you've done that, when you have the kick pattern, you want to go onto your snare. And you can see that there's a snare, but you want to match them with your kicks so that it's filling the spaces. So there's like a lot of space there for a snare, space there for a snare, space, snare, space, snare, space, snare, snare, you know. And if you work like that, you'll have a snare pattern. And when you're done that, you want to move to your hi-hats. The hi-hats is just go with the flow. Uh, I chose to have a bit slower and some faster hi-hats, some rolls. Uh, you just gotta match your beat. That's all I gotta say. You can listen to this. Make sure to have hi-hats that is matching the speed of your beat. If you're having too many hi-hats, the beat is gonna feel really fast. If it's too slow, it's gonna feel really slow. So it depends on what vibe you're going for. I have a lot of kicks at the end, so it's like dum 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 before the next melody or whatever. So you can listen to it with the melody. And for the 808, just grab the kicks, copy them, and as you can see that every time there's a kick, there's an 808. So the 808 is matching the kicks when it comes to length, uh, but not when it comes to the notes. So the reason I chose to focus on this note here, D sharp, is because that's my ground note. So it's the same. So I'm using that as the main notes for the 808, and then just putting some notes extra and above and some slides. So that is basically it. You can listen to the track with automation and stuff. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe.